Minister Xu Fangda, Senior Minister of State Xu Baokun, Chairman Li Xian, Chief Executive Officer He Zhixuan, Editor-in-Chief Li Huiling, my old friend. Dear colleagues, a very good morning to you, and it is a great pleasure to be with you at this event. I would like to start by thanking the organizers for your efforts in promoting China-Singapore exchanges and cooperation over many decades. Business China, initiated by Mr. Li Jianchao, aims to develop a cultural and economic bridge linking Singapore and China. Lianhe Zaobao is a world-renowned Chinese language newspaper, which has a lot of influence both in the world and also in China itself. Future China and Think China are committed to introducing China to other countries in the world, and I thank you very much indeed for the great job that you've done over these years. Every time I'm in Singapore, it is gratifying to see that the success story of Singapore goes on and on. Singapore's success is attributed to people's trust, diligence, frugality, and eagerness to learn, as put by Mr. Li Jianchao. Singaporeans believe that if people only rely on heaven, their rice jars will be empty. But if people work hard, their granary will be full of grain. In such a spirit, Singaporeans have succeeded in building the country into a leading global financial, shipping, and refinery center within just a few decades. Your experience is still enlightening for a good many number of countries in the world today. Colleagues, the world today is fraught with transformations and turbulence. The relations between major countries are undergoing profound readjustments. Geopolitical conflicts in one place spill over into other parts of the world. With nearly 60% of the world's population, 40% of the world's economic aggregate and over 30% of international trade, Asia's choice matters. So what do we, Asia people, need, and what should we guard against? I would like to share with you the following thoughts. First, we need peace, not war. Since World War II, over 90 wars of various scale have broken out across the world. However, Asia has remained largely peaceful and stable. Countries in the region have been mostly at peace with each other, which has helped nurture Asia's development miracles over the past decades. The experience we learn is that to realize prosperity in the long run, we must guard against conflicts and wars. Yet today, the tendencies of military blocs finding their ways into Asia-Pacific are sounding the alarms for us. Prime Minister Li Xianlong has also reminded us in his speech that our region has enjoyed peace for so long, but anyone who thinks that war cannot break out in the region needs to get real. At present, Asia is at a critical juncture of development and rejuvenation. We must make sure that geopolitical conflicts, bloc confrontations, which might lead to turbulence and crisis, do not occur in our region. The South China Sea issue, to be honest, is being played up by some external countries for certain purposes. Thanks to the concerted efforts of China and ASEAN over the years, there has been overall stability in the South China Sea. We have already signed the DOC and are working on the COC. Let us stay as sober-minded and vigilant as ever to keep the initiative of maintaining peace and stability of the region in our own hands. On the issue of peace and security, China has the best track record among all major countries. China has never provoked a war or invaded another country. China's defense budget in 2023 accounted for less than 1.5% of its GDP, not only much lower than that of the United States, which is 3.2%, but also below the global average of 2.4%. We appreciate Singapore's opposition to Cold War mentality and Singapore's proposal that major country competition and regional disputes should be properly managed. China is ready to continue working with Singapore and other countries in our region to defend peace and stability in Asia, as they are the foundation for growth and prosperity. Second, we need connectivity, not decoupling. Be it the miracle of the 4 dragons or 4 tigers in the 1980s and 1990s, the rapid growth of China, or the rising prosperity of ASEAN countries as a whole, the secret behind these success stories is their embrace of economic globalization and regional integration. Facts have proven that economic globalization and regional integration unleashes dynamism, potential, and resilience for growth. However, for some time, the trend of economic globalization has encountered headwinds. Certain countries are engaged in decoupling, disrupting supply chains, and building small yards with high fences in the name of security. Asia must be vigilant not to become a testing ground for parallel systems. If so, the long-established industrial and supply chains in the region could be disrupted, and Asia could only find it harder to achieve prosperity given the mounting difficulties in economic and social development at the moment. China has all along been a practitioner, beneficiary, and champion of economic globalization and regional integration. We understand that China's prosperity hinges on the development of the region. That is why we were determined to shore up the RMB during the Asian financial crisis, why we proposed the Belt and Road Initiative, initiated the establishment of the Asia Infrastructure Investment Bank, short form is AIIB, and joined the RCEP. And that is why we provided anti-pandemic supplies to countries in our region and endeavored to promote post-pandemic recovery in this part of the world. The Chinese economy is deeply integrated into the world economy, and we will open our door wider. We appreciate Singapore's open mindset and dedication to economic integration in the region. China is ready to join hands with Singapore and other countries in the region in opposing protectionism, supporting globalization, enhancing regional connectivity, and boosting regional economic circulation. Third, we need technology as a means to empower, not to undermine. As the new round of technological revolution and industrial transformation keeps evolving, Asian countries must work together to pursue high-quality development driven by high-tech and innovation, and not miss the opportunity brought by technological empowerment. Regrettably, certain countries is tightening up the net of technology blockade. Such practice will only hinder technological advancement, harm industries, and widen development gaps. The fruits of technological advances should benefit humanity as a whole, rather than being used as a means to contain or undercut other countries. China highly values its cooperation with Singapore in areas of digitalization, green development, artificial intelligence, and the exemplary role of such cooperation in the region. We stand ready to work with Singapore and other Asian countries to enhance cooperation in high-tech and innovation with an open mindset. We should grasp new opportunities brought about by technological revolution and keep our region a frontrunner in world economy. Talking about economy, I want to borrow this opportunity to brief you on some of the basic facts of the Chinese economy, as there has been a growing concern that China's growth has peaked or will face recession in the future. When assessing the economic performance of a country, international institutions often focus on the following indicators. 1. Macroeconomic data. In 2023, China's GDP exceeded 126 trillion renminbi yuan, an increase of about 5.2%, higher than the global average of 2.6%, ranking China among the fastest growing major economies in the world. For China, the growth rate of 7.7% in 2013, that was more than 10 years ago, means a $660 billion increase of economic aggregate, while 5% of growth in 2023 means a $900 billion increase of economic aggregate. That is to say, 1 percentage point of growth now roughly equals 2.1 points of growth 10 years ago. 2. Economic resilience. China has a huge market of over 1.4 billion people and more than 200 mature industrial clusters, as well as numerous high-caliber workers and entrepreneurs. As President Shanmugaratnam put it, a deep manufacturing ecosystem and a huge talent pool are the fundamental strengths of China's economy. And 3, quality of development. New quality productive forces can only be unleashed by innovation. China has some 400,000 high-tech enterprises and ranks second globally in the number of unicorn companies. China has entered a new development stage where technological advancement and industrial upgrading serve as the main growth drivers. In a nutshell, after years of development, China has established sound and solid fundamentals. Just as a healthy person also has a strong immune system, the Chinese economy can handle ups and downs. At the just concluded National People's Congress, China announced a host of new policies to support growth, boost foreign trade, attract foreign investment, and facilitate the traveling of foreign nationals to China. The annual GDP growth target is set at around 5% this year. As the Chinese economy continues to grow at such a pace, China will bring more opportunities to countries in the region and the rest of the world. Last but not least, we need civilizations to engage, not to clash. We, the Chinese, advocate dialogues among civilizations. We should let inter-civilization exchanges replace estrangement, mutual learning replace clashes, and coexistence replace feelings of superiority. This view on civilization perfectly echoes with the Asian values of peace, cooperation, inclusiveness, and integration. These values also encapsulated in the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence, the ASEAN way of consensus building, and policy strategies initiated by leaders of the region have all helped build a friendly and harmonious neighborhood, making Asia one of the most dynamic growth engines in the world and the most stable place in the world, and we are certainly proud of that. With a sense of history and a keen understanding of the reality that all countries are closely interconnected, President Xi Jinping put forward the vision of building a human community with a shared future. This vision is about what kind of world we hope to build for the future. It should be an open, inclusive, clean, and beautiful world that enjoys lasting peace, universal security, and common prosperity. To build it, we have proposed the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiative, and the Global Civilization Initiative as the strategic pillars, and the Belt and Road Initiative as a practicing platform for the human community of shared future. China is ready to work with countries in the region to turn this vision into a reality. Colleagues, the theme song of the 19th Asian Game in Hangzhou goes, "We all are living in Asia. Together we feel, we could dream, together we love and share." With this sense of togetherness, the International Department of the Communist Party Central Committee reaches out to political parties and organizations worldwide for dialogues and understanding. With Singapore, my colleagues and I will do our best to follow through on the important consensus reached by our leaders, enhance interactions with people of all walks of life in Singapore, and contribute to the growth of China-Singapore bilateral relations, which is based on the comprehensiveness, on the all-round, on the future orientation, and a strong and better future for Asia. So it is a great pleasure to be here, and I'm looking forward to continuing the discussion. Thank you very much indeed.